Welcome to Experience Annex, sharing experience with the world. Experience Annex is a platform for thoroughbreds, exemplary leaders, world-class professionals, and legendary entrepreneurs to share their wisdom with the world. Marshall Goldsmith once said, "What got you here may not take you there." By sharing, thoroughbreds unconsciously let their light shine on the world, giving direction to the lost, wisdom to the naive, and courage to the lily-livered. Our guest today is Mr. Ben Ofungwu, the founder, chairman, and CEO of ISN Products Nigeria Limited. ISN is the sole representative of Roche Diagnostics and Manre range of equipment or health systems in Nigeria. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
Welcome to Experience Annex. Let me start off with asking you about the very beginning. You started ISN Products Nigeria Limited about 30 years ago, and you have been at it since. What would you say accounts for your resiliency?
Well, I am a lab scientist by training, and I've also been in marketing. So I am doing exactly what I've been trained to do. So marketing and marketing laboratory products is my forte.
Roche is the world's leader in medical diagnostics, and ISN is their sole representative in Nigeria. Why did you choose Roche?
Actually, Roche chose me. They chose me because I have a combination of being a scientist and also being in marketing. Usually lab people stay in the labs. And so it's a rare combination to have a lab man who is also into marketing. And for this combination, Roche felt they needed somebody with these two combinations to be able to handle their products in Nigeria. I've been working for Roche for the last 30 years, and I'm quite pleased with the results we are getting.
Yes, there's a story that the company you were working for was taken over by Roche. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, actually, the company that I started with was called Boehringer Mannheim. Boehringer Mannheim is a reagent company from Mannheim in Germany. And Roche Diagnostics, Roche Diagnostics being part of Hoffmann La Roche, which you know is a big international organization, they bought over Boehringer Mannheim, and that is how we got into Roche. So Roche Diagnostics is supposed to be the number one in diagnostics in the world. But there's always an argument whether they are number one or Abbott is number one. But between the two of them, they share 1 and 2.
Okay, fine. You shared with me the privileged story. In fact, I felt it was a privilege for me to hear such a story, that ISN kept a diagnostic equipment or systems at the UCH, University College Hospital in Ibadan, alive for 13 good years. Why did you feel obliged to service the equipment or these systems for 13 years without interruption? Did you also supply reagents uninterrupted during those 13 years?
Yeah, actually, we are a reagent company. Roche is a reagent company. Our sole aim of business is to keep all instruments working so that reagents will be used. And they are quite useful in diagnosis. Yes, for 13 years, we kept an instrument system called Hitachi 902 working for UCH uninterruptedly for 13 years, giving out results, and everybody was quite impressed with this. The Minister of Health at that time was Dr. A.B.C. Nwosu, and he couldn't believe a Nigerian company could keep an instrument alive for this length of time. It's one of the highlights of our business, really. We have engineers who go around to keep these instrument systems working, and that's exactly what we still do today. We have about 10 engineers. They cover the country, and they make sure all our instrument systems that are installed anywhere in the country, all our systems are working, and we supply the reagents and make sure that the doctors get the advantage of clinical information.
Fantastic. I understand diagnostic systems are really lifesavers. I, for one, recently went for a prostate check. My wife was just pushing me that after age of 40, you need to do prostate. So I had to go. And so tell us about the top three diagnostic systems available and what they can really do.
Yeah, okay, you are talking about the top three. Let me say it this way. We have our clinical chemistry systems. Now, clinical chemistry will give you your body system, the chemistry of your body. So this is our base system. We can do your blood glucose, we can do your blood urea, we can check your liver function test, and this is our clinical chemistry. The instrument we have for this is called the Cobas C311, and it's a very useful system. We have a smaller one called the 111, but the 311 is about the state of the art. Now, the second one is immunology. You talked about going for a PSA. Immunology is the study of your immune system. And the PSA you went for, the prostate-specific antigen, is one of the tests we can do on our E411. We have a group of tests, immunology tests, from thyroid hormones to fertility hormones to cancer markers. All this come under immunology. Now, the third one is our molecular diagnostics. Molecular diagnostics is for products that count, for instance, your viral load tests come under this molecular biology. We can tell the amount of virus in your system at any one time. We have these systems in various institutions. We have it in Nigerian Institute of Medical Research in Yaba. We have it in UCH Ibadan. In actual fact, Roche Systems is the one chosen by the NGOs for viral load monitoring throughout the country. So we are everywhere. We have over 400 systems, instrument systems working throughout the country right now, and we supply all the reagents for them.
Okay, so this viral monitoring system, is it to do with some things like the HIV?
Yes, it's for HIV is caused by a virus, so the viral load monitoring can monitor the HIV virus in you. We can also use it for hepatitis. Everything that involves virus can be monitored with the viral load testing.
Okay, great. Recently, the Senate Committee on Health in Nigeria says Nigeria loses about 80 billion naira. That's about $500 million annually due to what they call medical tourism.
Yes.
Like Nigerians having to fly to America,
yes,
and India to do, and Dubai to do medical checks. So I have three questions. Number one, do hospitals in Nigeria know about the existence of these equipments that you have them, these systems? That's number one. Then why are they not buying? Number three, what is ISN doing to sensitize hospitals about the availability of these systems in Nigeria?
Well, let me take your questions one after the other. Do hospitals in Nigeria know about this? Yes, they do. In actual fact, there is a new development. I'm sure you've heard about Mecure, diagnostic system in Oshodi. Mecure is using all our systems. All their systems are Roche systems. And doctors know about this. They send their specimens there. Mecure actually arranges for this medical tourism. But here in Nigeria, they are using our systems and they are opening other branches here and there. I understand they're in Abia Teaching Hospital right now, and they have they have a station in Lagos University Teaching Hospital. Yes, people know about this. Your second question is, why are they not buying? Unfortunately, that's the business we are in. People are not buying, and we are doing all we can to convince them to buy. But it's improving. There is, we have just supplied Kwara Advanced Diagnostics Center with all our systems, and it is the state-of-the-art advanced, the most advanced diagnostic setup in Nigeria, in West Africa today. We're also doing the same for Bayelsa State Government. And the teaching hospitals know about Roche Diagnostics. The people who should know. But we're having difficulty convincing the government to go for these systems, but we're in business of trying to convince them. And your third question is, what are we doing?
Yes.
What is ISN doing? What we are doing is our business of trying to let people know that these things are available and they can be used here and they can be serviced, and that we have a system to handle it.
Beautiful. Regarding the Kwara State setup, you say it's one of the best in the whole of Africa.
Whole of West Africa, yeah.
So when will you make it the best in Africa?
Well, they are working very hard there. It's one thing is to have the setup, another thing is to run it efficiently. And we are partners with them on this. We have our engineers always going to Ilorin to see what they are doing. We supply them with reagents, and we make sure they are using the right methods. Yeah.
Honestly, I strongly believe that no one should travel more than 10 or 50 kilometers to search for medical help. I, for instance, travel all the way from Ikeja to Oshodi to Mekio to do the prostate check. I mean, assuming that we had at least the type of setup that Mekio has in, let me say, all the 777 local governments in Nigeria, what do you think that would do to health?
It will surely improve. In fact, that's what we are working on. Right now, we have a program with Kogi State government because Kogi State has free rural health program. We are working with other states in trying to make it available in all the general and district hospitals. That will go a long way to help in making diagnostic medicine available at every point in the country.
Excellent. So you are really like a doctor yourself?
No, I'm not.
Okay, well, let's take it home. Let's bring it home. I understand that you have some equipment like the one AcuCheck that I can actually use right in my house to check my blood. Is it blood sugar, blood pressure, or something like that?
Blood sugar, blood glucose, yes.
Yes, that even an individual, so it doesn't need to be hospital, that even an individual, we hear about people just falling down and say they slumped and died.
Yes.
Because I'm sure it's something to do with high blood pressure. Can you talk a little bit about how the AcuCheck could be used for this blood sugar or something?
Yeah, home blood glucose monitoring is something that is fairly new in Nigeria, but it's commonplace anywhere in the world. When you are diagnosed as a diabetic, the most important thing is that you should control the amount of glucose in your blood, and that is what we use AcuCheck for. Diabetics end up with a lot of complications. They have blindness, they have amputations, they have organ damage, they have high blood pressure. So by monitoring your blood glucose, you could reduce the incidence of these complications. And that is what we try to do. We make people aware that you can manage your diabetes. Diabetes is a management disease. It's not curable. You just have to manage it efficiently by being careful of what you eat and what blood glucose level is at any one time. In medicine, they say know your numbers. When they say know your numbers, it means know what range your blood glucose should be, know what range your blood pressure should be, know what range your cholesterol should be. Always have it at your fingertips, your numbers, the vital numbers for your health. That's what we do.
So it's really very, very important that I should know my vital numbers.
Yes, it's very important.
A friend of mine recently called me. In fact, he called me to say that, oh, sorry that he couldn't go to work, that the doctor said he should rest, that he has, is it high blood pressure or something like that? So I want to say, how expensive is this Aku check that I could just use to check my
No, it's
blood
not.
sugar? Is that
It's not.
expensive?
It's not expensive
That's
at
about
all.
how much?
It's very, very cost effective
set.
in the sense that it will cost you less than 5,000 naira. But what it saves is the most important thing. It saves you the cost of an amputation. When you amputate, when you have one leg taken off, you are dependent on somebody for life. When you go blind, you are dependent on somebody for life. So compared with the alternative, it's cheap. It's very cost effective. You should not really consider it. There is no comparison from what you get to what you should be spending to stay healthy.
That is, where's my calculator? I can't believe it. That is $5,000, which is about...
No, 5,000 naira.
Oh, 5,000 naira.
Yes.
That's why I was getting to that. So 5,000 naira.
Yes.
Which is less than how many dollars?
Yes.
It's less than $50.
Yes. Not up to $50, definitely.
Less than $50.
Yes,
I can be checking my blood
glucose at all times.
And
yes.
ensuring that my vital numbers are within the range.
For diabetes, yes.
5,000 naira, less than $5,000.
Surely less
if
than
you are
5,000.
out there and believe that you owe your health to government, you need to listen to Mr. Ben Ofungwu about that you can actually right in your own home take care of your health. Okay, let's finalize. Let's just summarize. Let's take it home and finalize. One of ISN's core values is integrity. Can you explain how that plays out in the way you conduct business at ISN? And ISN has existed for at least 30 years.
Yes.
So would you say that integrity is good business?
Yes. Again, it has to do with your upbringing, your moral upbringing. Integrity is not something you acquire, it's something you grew up with. You know, you owe obligations to people. You try and make sure you keep your own side of the deal at all times. What we do is to be fair to our customers, be fair to our workers, be fair to people we deal with. And that is the basis of our own integrity. People who have worked in ISN for 30 years from the day we started, and they are quite happy staying with ISN. Just recently, we had long award ceremonies for staff that have worked with us for 10, 15, 20 years, 30 years. And for a small company like ISN, that's quite an achievement. So it's a question of integrity, having to deal with people on equal terms.
Mr. Ben
Ofungwu.
Yeah. I was really privileged to be participating in the Long Service Award. I was amazed. In fact, that's the first time. I mean, we hear people working in the oil industries, in telecoms, in banking. In fact, I know one or two people I've met in First Bank, Union Bank, working for 30 years. But for what I would call a one-man company, more or less, a single company that you single-handedly founded and run for 30 years, and someone has been with you for 30 years. I believe that is something exemplary. It's very rare. Can you tell us a little bit?
Thank you very much. I mean, I think it's because we are birds of the same feather. We are all lab people. People who have worked with me are either biochemists or lab scientists or microbiologists. So they know, they come into a company where they feel their knowledge is appreciated. And they work with us, they identify with us, and they are with us in everything we do. So they are quite happy staying with us, and that's why we've had all these people staying with us for that length of time. It's just a question of, again, dealing with people the way you would like them to deal with you.
So it means that you're a very good employer, and then there's ownership spirit, really, that they feel a sense of belonging. Because I saw some people, one person 30 years, a group 20 years, 15, 20, 10. So I want to congratulate you.
Thank you very much.
I'm sure you that we shall be back for more interviews in the future as you try to make healthcare, available to all Nigerians. Nigeria is a country of 160 million, maybe 170, we don't really know, but about 160, 170 million people. And if everyone took healthcare as something that is integral to, just breathing and breathing out, I mean, will improve our longevity and have very, very virile workforce. And Nigeria will definitely find itself among the top 20 countries in the world.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you, Mr.
On the
Paul
platform
Uduk.
of Experience Annex. And as I've said, we shall be back. I hope you welcome us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.